On May 4th, when Lucasfilm announced that Taika Waititi will be directing a Star Wars film, they also confirmed that a new Star Wars live-action series is in the works for Disney Plus that is being helmed by Leslie Headland. This announcement is really just a confirmation of news, but I still think the way that Lucasfilm did this was smart and yet surprising at the same time. The original tweet specifically mentions Leslie Headland's Star Wars series, but in the article on StarWars.com, she's almost the side news compared to the movie announcement. Normally when announcing a live-action Star Wars series for Disney Plus, Lucasfilm would reveal it by itself. Like the Mandalorian, Cassian Andor series, and the Kenobi series, these are all live-action Star Wars series for Disney Plus, and when Lucasfilm announced them, they made a big deal about it and only talked about each specific series upon the reveal. But when this new Leslie Headland series was revealed, they treat it as an afterthought to the Taika Star Wars film. They said, look at this new film we're making with Taika directing and co-writing alongside an Oscar-winning screenplay writer. Oh, and also meet Leslie. She's got her own little Star Wars series too on Disney Plus. You go check that out as well. When it was first reported that Leslie Headland was helming her own Star Wars series, it was by Variety. They said the series was female-centric though, in the headlines, which of course caught everyone's eye. I think Variety wanted some good views and clicks on their article, and knew mentioning that this female who's helming a Star Wars series is making the series all female, which doesn't surprise me looking at her work in film and television because it's mostly female-centric. But why did Variety mention that the series is female-centric, but Lucasfilm didn't? Maybe Lucasfilm saw the reaction to the Variety article and chose to keep the details of it being a female-centric series secret for the time being. Or maybe they're just being smart and avoiding a spark in outrage in the fandom. Because what's going to cause outrage about simply announcing another Star Wars series for Disney Plus? If they mention it's a female-centric Star Wars series, it will cause debate and outrage, but just saying that you have another Star Wars series in the works leaves no room for fans to spin it into something bad. I think Lucasfilm is finally learning from their past mistakes, but also made a small mistake here too. They need to fully support the new series by Leslie. You cannot treat a live-action Star Wars project as an afterthought to a film. I know a lot of us are excited for a Star Wars film by Taika Waititi, but I think Lucasfilm has allowed it to dwarf the news of another Star Wars series being made. Hopefully in the future they can give each announcement the spotlight it deserves, because so far, Lucasfilm is unintentionally saying that the film is more important than the series. And with The Mandalorian being the only live-action Star Wars series so far, I try to think of it as an equal to the movies. Simply because it's a live-action, it makes it that more important to the Star Wars series, at least in the story sense, in my eyes. When they announced The Mandalorian, they didn't say, oh hey, we're making a new film with Rise of Skywalker, and JJ's directing it, Chris Terrio's co-writing it, oh and by the way, we're making a live-action Star Wars show with Jon Favreau helming it. No, they made a big deal about it. They had its own separate panel at Star Wars Celebration. They made a huge reveal for The Mandalorian that this was going to be the first live-action Star Wars show in a very long time. And I think that's great. I love that they're doing that with The Mandalorian, something like the Cassian Andor show, the Kenobi series. These are all big reveals for Star Wars fans that we're getting more projects in the future, and it's going to be live action, which I think adds more value to the stories that are being told. But whenever you announce another Disney Plus series that's going to be Star Wars and it's supposed to be live action, and you kind of treat it as an afterthought to the film, it makes it seem like you're not really taking them that seriously. These Star Wars films should not be more important than the Star Wars series that are also live action. I hope going forward both are promoted the same. Leslie Headland is doing what Jon Favreau is doing for The Mandalorian by helming this series. She has experience in producing, directing, and writing, so ideally she's got the experience for a series on a streaming service, but is Leslie Headland right for Star Wars? The only thing I'm skeptical about her on is her lack of experience in a universe like Star Wars. The production value on this kind of project will be bigger than anything she's ever worked on. Is it wise to give her an entire series without even testing the waters with her in Star Wars? Deborah Chow is helming the Kenobi series for Disney Plus, but this was after she proved her worth in the Star Wars universe with The Mandalorian. It's surprising that they trusted Leslie so much to skip that process entirely. It's pretty clear that Lucasfilm has had this idea in the works for some time and finalized the deal in December of 2019 when Headland attended the Rise of Skywalker premiere. So they've chosen to sit on this news for 5 months, and yet didn't give any more information than the Variety article did a month prior. I think this is a step in the right direction for Lucasfilm, at least in the PR department, but they're still messing up the marketing and the backing of the series like this. But I would love to hear what you guys think about Leslie Headland's Star Wars series on Disney Plus and the idea of it being female-centric. Do you think that's actually going to happen? Do you think people are overblowing it kind of thing? I mean, they haven't officially announced it. Is Lucasfilm hiding the fact that it's a female-centric Star Wars series? I'd love to hear your thoughts below. I'm Star Wars Only. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you all next time, and may the Force be with you. Always.